The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is not an easy product. It's a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.
Blessed good morning.
Hey kids, I know most of you have heard adults speaking about money, right? In our animated video series, we will discover the most important things you should know about money and how to manage it in the future. Ooh, did I forget to mention our adventurous comic book with finance lessons? I love comics so much. What about you? Are you ready for this adventure?
A blessed good morning and good day to everyone from the Caribbean and around the rest of the world. Thank you for being on the call. My name is Maureen Brown and I'm from Barbados. I'm your host today. Just a reminder of why we are here. As our founder just said, we are learning today so we can lead tomorrow. For the next week or so, we will be exploring the Super TED series because it can be used to initiate conversations with parents, neighbors, friends, family, and loved ones about the world of cryptocurrency and the importance of becoming financially literate. It also gives us the opportunity to leave a lifelong legacy with our children and our nation's children. The Super TED series is an initiative created by the One World Foundation, which is part of the ecosystem of One Life and the heartbeat of our founder, Dr. Ruja. The One World Foundation gives all of One Life members the opportunity to donate and give back to the communities they operate in. The Adventures of Super TED is a series of comic books on financial education for children from ages 5 to 12 years old. The series aims to empower children to become independent and productive citizens who understand the basic concepts of money and finance. The content is developed by a team of financial experts, entrepreneurs, illustrators, and people with teaching experience. This ensures that the comics and the video lectures are adapted for children to explore the material at their own pace in their free time. It is made so kids can learn about money and financial institutions while having fun. Remember, it's an interactive session, so please put your questions and comments in the chat box. Also, we will allow 1 or 2 contributions at the end of the discussion unless otherwise stated. One Academites, together we'll keep changing the world, as stated by Dr. Ruja. Larry Pereira, over to you.
Good morning, Miss Maureen Brown. And how are you this morning, Miss Maureen Brown?
I am well, and how are you?
Well, I am indeed blessed. And of course, good morning to all One Academites this morning within the Caribbean and by extension further afield. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. All right, today we continue with our Super TED learning series, and we're really excited because so far we've really been covering a lot of information since it started on Monday with Diamond Patrice James moving ahead with double coincidence and talking a little bit about the bartering system. And then we had Maureen yesterday who spoke a lot about money as a medium of exchange, the economy, goods and services. And now we have Mr. Dwayne Cadiz, who is on and ready to go, talking about this morning's topic, making money. Good morning, Mr. Cadiz. Dwayne, how are you doing?
I'm good, Larry. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I am hearing you loud and clear, sir.
All right. Pleasant good morning to all the One Academites in the room, both locally, regionally, and internationally.
Yes. Now before we start this morning's presentation, Dwayne, Give me your perspective, because we've had two incredibly powerful women for the last 2 days. So, you know, the men has to shine in this morning. As it relates to what has the Super TED Learning Series done for you? Have you been able to interact this with your children so far?
Yes, a couple months ago when I was exposed to the opportunity and the information regarding Super TED, I was able to share the videos with them, and some of the concepts they have grasped. And as I was sharing in a meeting, these guys have their own intellect and their own thoughts as it relates to money and commerce, because from week to week, I would be purchasing snacks for them. And what these guys would do, Larry, is that they, in turn now, would go to school, and the snacks that they don't prefer, they would sell those snacks and earn money. You understand?
That's what
So,
we're talking about. Entrepreneurs already.
yes, practical application 101.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes. So, that being said, should I commence with the read this morning?
Absolutely, sir. It's all yours. So
Def-
for all the One Academites now just joining in on the call, Mr. Kiddies now will continue our ongoing learning series with Super TED, Making Money.
Right. So, pleasant morning, One Academites again. So, we're covering making money in the Super TED series. It says, "Hi, I am Super TED, and together we will look into the different ways of earning money through work. Money is earned through doing a job. To do or create something useful for others. And work is a combination of four things. We have time, we have knowledge, we have skill, and we have effort. So those are the four components that go into work. If you put time and effort in education and practice, you will acquire knowledge and skills. In order to be good, at something, we need to practice a lot and to be patient and never give up. And that is definitely so. You can't afford to give up. But where to start? The first job is usually at home for most of us. And there are daily tasks that we do, and through them, we learn valuable skills and also help our parents. When we grow up, we can deliver newspapers and leaflets, mow the grass, clean the snow, or wash cars in order to earn pocket money. With time, the more we learn and practice, the more jobs we can try. The most important knowledge and skill, though, are the ones that help us communicate. To speak foreign languages with friends from all over the world, or to work with computers to look for information and learn on our own. After we try different types of jobs, we learn what we like and what we are good at. The more we practice doing certain things, the faster and better we learn to do it. It's called specialization. And depending on our specialization, we can choose our professional career. In the world, there are many different options for a career, and you can be a doctor or a scientist and look for new technologies and medicines. You can be an architect or an engineer that plans and builds whole cities. You can be whatever you want as long as you want it strongly enough. Depending on the job, the payment for your work can be different. For a finished product, the architect gets paid for a finished project. For a monthly salary, such as a doctor, and per day or per hour wages, like a babysitter. Money is earned through work. The more time you spend doing something, the better you will become at it. If we specialize in something, we can start a career in it. There are many work opportunities, but the most important thing is to like what you do and to be good at it. And what do you like? What could work for you? Did you know people who start their own business are called entrepreneurs? Almost everything around us is the result of the work of someone who believed in an idea and made it a reality. They are usually the source of all the products and services. Those are entrepreneurs. And did you also know scientists have proven that in order to be really good at something, you need to spend 10,000 hours doing it. Which thing would you dedicate this much time to? The sooner you start, the better you will become. That brings us to the end of this morning's Super TED Read. Dr. Larry.
Yes, sir. Very good read. So before we play the video, Dwayne, what I'm going to do is let's recap some of the information that we were just presented with.
Sure.
All right. And let's kind of go in a little more detail because we do have time, just 12 minutes after the hour. So we've said that money is earned through work. All right. Can you explain what is work? Let's define what work is so we can understand. Let's say you were actually explaining this to your children. What is work? How are we going to integrate work in the mind of a child?
Right. So I'll take you back directly to the slide that impacted me as far as that is concerned. We see here that work is a combination of four things: time, knowledge, skill, and effort. And when all those four components come together, work is created, right? So we're utilizing the time, we're utilizing knowledge about a particular subject matter, we're utilizing skill that we would have acquired by contact hours of doing something repetitively, whether it be mopping the floors or washing the car, or on the internet, being a professional browser, being able to locate different goods and products over the internet, and that takes effort.
Absolutely. Now, it brings me to another point here when you really consider that when we're talking about being paid in terms of a salary, what in fact, when you really look at it, one academites, is when you're working per hour or per week or whatnot, you're not in fact actually being paid for time. You're actually being paid for the value that you are actually creating in the workspace. And that's something we must remember. You get paid by the value you create. However, in a salary scenario, in a job scenario, it's in many times fixed. And that's what we sometimes think, well, okay, it's a secure medium. So that's really how the job scenario operates. In terms of entrepreneurs now control how much they actually earn. Because as an entrepreneur, you yourself are creating value because of the products or services that you are in fact specialized in so that you can create value. That's important. And we talk about this 10,000 hours of specialization. You want to talk a little bit more on that, Dwayne? This 10,000 hours that we need in order to perfect our skill set or our entrepreneurial mindset, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, most definitely. We spoke about the contact hours. You having had 10,000 contact hours of doing something repetitively, and after that length of time, what's going to happen is that you're going to be one of the utmost sought out persons in that particular field. In terms of my vocation, I am involved in the custom brokerage business for the last 23 years now. So I have at least 23 years experience under my belt, and that is 23 years experience with the law, international trade laws. We're talking about also relationships, because within that time span, I would have met customs officers who would have been long in the service and who have since retired. I would have met officers who came into the service and are still there, but have moved up the ranks now to senior positions, and then I would have met entry-level persons coming into the system. So in my vocation, the experience is not just only the experience with the legislation as it relates to international trade laws, but also relationships in different spheres that are connected to my vocation.
Absolutely. One other point I want to ask, or add rather, Dwayne, is would you say that if you are more specialized in a particular field, that you are you are actually in a better position in terms of earning a salary, or in terms of in the event that something happens in the company? Do you think that you might be the first one that the company is going to ask you to step out, or is it across the board for everybody?
I think it's across the board, but it's not specific to one particular vocation. We see here in our society today that through the blockchain technology and the introduction of blockchain technology, that career paths now are being affected. We would have listened to that webinar from Mr. Peter George a couple months back, where he talked about, he was talking to students and he was letting them know that, listen, if you're pursuing a career in computer science, for instance, I think right now would be a good time to change that, because of the fact that blockchain technology is now going to affect transactions worldwide and vocations and careers worldwide, because of the value that it's going to add to society. So I think that right now, everyone should really rethink, retrain, and retool themselves for the new and emerging technological market. If you are not tech savvy, you need to start becoming tech savvy and understand the internet. For those persons who say, well, I'm not involved in the computers, and I'll let my son or my daughter or my grandson or my granddaughter take over that aspect. Listen, you are going to be alive, you know, God's willing, God's be alive. You are going to be alive to see a lot of technical advancement happen, and you have to survive it. You have to be able to live and operate in that realm. So do not discredit or discount yourself by any means. And because as long as we are alive, we can learn and we can move forward.
Larry?
Yes, Maureen, I did see that you wanted to actually contribute this morning. Go right ahead, Maureen.
Okay, actually, I found this article yesterday, and I thought it was interesting because it was about entrepreneurship. And the person who wrote the article was saying that all of us are entrepreneurs. And the person went on to say, we're all born with the innate ability to survive, and survival involves innovative thinking. So then it's saying, think about your life. Think about the times you needed to make a decision, a choice that involved doing something innovative, something you were not accustomed to doing, so that you can move on or adapt to a challenging situation. And it's saying in our normal course of daily living, we're faced with choices. And then the person also went on to say, we are selling ourselves short if we do not define ourselves as entrepreneurs. If we choose to accept that entrepreneurs are the other people who take a chance, who think and act differently when challenges arise, then you are selling yourself short. So it is also saying they can bet that throughout the course of the year so far, you would have made entrepreneurial choices. So basically, I was quite encouraged by that and thinking, yeah, we all need to get into thinking that we are entrepreneurs, because yes, you go to a job and you give them most of your time and effort for a limited amount of money. But then if you start to change your thinking into believing that you're an entrepreneur who's there adding value, then bit by bit, you might slowly find that you can do other things, that you can give more value to other workplaces or other people without being so confined to a particular time and space. So that's all I really wanted to say.
Okay, fabulous. Dwayne, I think it's time we may want to recap now with the short video, and then we'll bring you back on to wrap up with some of your other comments, and I know you wanted to add a few things based on what you would have said yesterday.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you can stop your screen share now.
All right. 1 sec. Yes, sir. Larry? Yeah.
Hello there. My name is Super Ted, and I will be your guide in the world of finance. Today, we are going to look into one of the basic but also very important things in the world of finance: how to make money. Well, money is made in banks, but that's not what I really meant by making money. What I meant was how to earn money through work. For starters, money is earned by doing a job, to do something useful or helpful for others. A job is a combination of several things: time, effort, knowledge, skills. If you put time and effort into education and practice, you will acquire knowledge and skills. But where to start? The first job is usually at home. These are the daily tasks we do. Through them, we learn valuable skills. When we grow up, we can mow the lawn, clean snow, and other small jobs to earn our pocket money. The more we learn and practice, the more jobs we can try and the more money we can earn. The most important knowledge and skills are the ones that help us communicate and be more efficient. After we try different jobs, we learn what we are good at and what we like. The more we practice a certain job, the faster and better we learn to do it. This is called specialization. Depending on our specialization, we can choose our professional career. There are many different careers in the world. You can be a doctor or a scientist and look for new medicines and technologies. You can be an architect or an engineer and construct whole new cities. You can be whatever you want as long as you want it strongly enough. The payment for your work can be different. You can get paid for a project. You can get paid a monthly salary. Alternately, you can get paid per hour.
Okay, Dwayne, so your final comments as it relates to this morning's presentation.
Yes, sir. One of the things that stood out to me as far as a Caribbean person is concerned is our ability for innovation. We are a very innovative people. If you look at the history of the world as far as innovations are concerned, a lot of innovative ideas came from the people that are of the Caribbean origin. We have a strong heritage. And I want to encourage persons, if you can take something that is already in existence in this world and tweak it and make it a little better for all of humanity to enjoy, you will never see the end of income. You will never see the end of income. Use the creativity that God has given you to strive and to make this world a better place. And anytime we do it unselfishly, there's going to be a great reward in it for us. I think too many times what we try to do is we try to be caught in that trap of the crab in a barrel syndrome where everybody wants to be on top, everybody wants to be top dog, and we discredit or discount our brother, our fellow human being in the process, right? Because I understand that it's all about self-preservation, yes, because that's our instinct, human nature. But if we seek to innovate, we're going to add value to a lot of lives, and value is going to be added back to us indirectly because of that. Dr. Larry?
Excellent. Yes, sir. Excellent. So in terms of worker, what would you say is the most important points moving forward for anyone who is looking in the world of work, work is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming an entrepreneur is obviously very important, but understanding the dynamics of work is always very important, even for our children growing up, so that they could understand.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, let's say, three principles or characteristics of really performing at your best in a work scenario? Because it's necessary. What would you say are the three points that we should take home?
The 3 points that we should take home, I think, was shown in the Super TED manual or the Super TED comic this morning, where we saw those components, those 4 components that contribute to work. And I think nowhere in there, I'm going to tell you what not to do. What not to do? We did not see in that slide or that comic page the word procrastination, meaning to put it off. We did not see in that slide to talk about it, right? Because action brings about results. We can talk from now until thy kingdom come, and those things won't happen. What we need to do is be specific about what we want and take action to make things happen. And unless we do that, we will not get the desired results.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We will be inviting you on Friday for you to talk a little bit about the e-wallet scenario, because we're kind of pressing against time this morning. So it'll be perfect on Friday for us to talk a little bit about that. But I'm going to bring Patrice James up shortly to talk a little bit about a unique idea which she shared with me yesterday about if you've exposed your children to the Super TED Learning Series, just maybe for a minute or two on Friday morning when we have open house, that we would invite you to have your children definitely say a few words as it relates to what the Super TED Learning Series has in fact done for them thus far. So I'm throwing out the challenge to all One Academites, your parents, for your children, feel free and have them on the call, share with us what it has done for them so far. It's going to be interesting. But before I bring Patrice up, I just want to recap on for the last couple of days, for those who may have now joined in. Patrice did a fantabulous presentation on Monday, and she talked a lot about the bartering. That's where the first part of where money really started. We talked about the whole dynamics of money came as a result of interaction within a community. Once we are in a community and once we are interacting with each other, there is going to be a need to exchange value. So the whole aspect of money came as a result of wanting to exchange goods and services. And the crudest form of money started many thousands of years ago in the bartering system. And this bartering system helped or worked to some extent when there is trust. Bartering requires trust between two parties. In a world of today, which we have become a little more selfish, bartering may not necessarily work in many respects. It had its complications even at that time. And Patrice went ahead and talked about this double coincidence of wants. And that is really where you must have a situation where both parties must agree before the exchange takes place. So before value can in fact be transacted, there must be that double coincidence, meaning you and me need to agree that this goat and this sheep or this cow and this 10 fishes has in fact the value that you are in fact looking for. And in fact, you must be looking for that. We talked about the absence of a common measure, and that's really the fault behind the bartering system. We moved beyond that, and yesterday, Maureen out of Barbados spoke a lot about money as a medium of exchange in terms of goods and services. We identify goods as objects and services as actions. An entrepreneur is someone who really adds value. And actually, Maureen spoke a lot about the deal shaker as being the opportunity, the platform for you, One Academites, to begin the process, if you've not been an entrepreneur before, to initiate that practice. So the deal shaker is very relevant, very important for your overall holistic development in terms of becoming an entrepreneur. Remember, in the long run, trading time for money does have limitations. Work is very important, as we heard this morning. However, becoming an entrepreneur is even better, where you create more value in the system. we talk a little bit about the circulation of money and how the circulation of money actually creates wealth. We talked about increasing the flow of production of goods and services, and this contributes favorably to the economic growth of any particular country. The more financial or the more money that's circulating in the economy is, the greater the opportunities there are for everyone to participate. So we all need to play our part in terms of our productivity. When you look at China, for instance, China became a powerhouse because collectively everyone values their contribution. Their work ethic in these countries are paramount, are number one. The Asians are veered for their work ethics. And that's sometimes our shortfall and our downfall in the Caribbean region because of the fact that we don't give real value. So we also discussed the combination of products and services, meaning the combination of production, the consumption of goods and services, and the circulation of money is by definition what we call an economy. So take note of that. The combination of production, the consumption of goods and services, and the circulation of money is what we call an economy. So collectively, we all make up economies in the world, and we all have our part to play. We also went on to understand that there were two types of market economies. Market-driven economy, where it's more prevalent in a more open type of economy, democratic or a free market capitalist type of society, where products and services are really the driving force of innovation. And then we have the command economies, where it's more available in more socialist or closed type societies, where the governments, the socialist type government services dictate the speed by which it actually moves. And of course, this morning we talk a lot with Mr. Cadiz concerning specialization, the importance of branching out, using the 10,000 hours. Of course, 10,000 hours applies not only in a job scenario, but it also applies in the development of skills. 10,000 hours works out to roughly 3.5 years. So if you do anything consistently for 3.5 years, you will become a specialist. So if you did your job or you learned a particular skill, you become a master at it. Likewise, the downside of specializing is that if you have done the wrong thing for the last 3.5 years and you're broke, chances are you became very good at becoming broke. And hence the reason why you want to specialize and retool yourself. And that's where the One Academy comes in, to really pick up the slack, to help give you the much needed information to begin the process of learning. We never stop learning. Learning is a lifelong pursuit. Learning is fun. Learning helps everyone, and it benefits the society collectively. I want to bring on Patrice James, Diamond Patrice James, who made a fabulous contribution on Monday, and she really hinted to me yesterday, listen, we're going to do, maybe let's look at open house as getting the kids, the children rather, to make a contribution. Patrice, good morning to you. You can unmute your mic.
Hi, morning. Good morning, Larry.
I'm not sure if you're hearing me. Patrice, can you unmute your mic?
Hi, morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Patrice.
All right, awesome. Good morning, One Academites. And as Larry said, the idea is to have an open discussion on Friday, please God. We have some of the children who, either it's your children or your grandchildren who you may have exposed to the Super TED, that they could just have like 1 to 2 minutes. I know around the time when we end or when the call is going on, they might now be having breakfast or their routine to go to school for those who are going to school. So I think it would be a good time and a good idea if they are brave enough to come on and just say what they learned, maybe just one thing they learned from the One Academy. I think it will be a powerful contribution to the call. So that is more or less the idea. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Patrice. Have yourself a productive day as well.
You too, Larry. God bless you.
Yes, God bless to you. All right. This is where I end this morning's part of my call and put everything back over to our host, Miss Maureen Brown. Have yourself a super fabulous day, One Academites. We continue tomorrow, all right, with Mr. Kess, and he is definitely going to take us through another Super TED learning series. So have yourself a great day, guys. Maureen, back over to you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you, Dwayne. Yes, I want to have one or two contributions. I am keeping my eyes on the clock. There is a Shirley Hazard. Shirley, I hope you're there. I'm going to unmute your mic, and I'd like you to shine in and say what the call has done for you this morning, and basically what One Academy on the whole has done for you and being part of One Life. Hello, Shirley. Good morning. Hello, Shirley. Okay. Shirley doesn't seem to be there, so I'm moving along swiftly, and I want to ask Kurt Samuel. Kurt, I just unmuted your mic. Good morning. How are you? And would you like to shine in and tell us what the call has done for you this morning? Good morning, Kurt. Hello, Kurt. Okay, moving along. I see we have a guest, and I'm going to unmute your mic. Guest, would you like to shine in? I'm not sure if you're really a guest or if you are a One Academy who's shining, who called your phone that. Good morning. Would you like to shine in? Okay, the guest has disappeared. Elizabeth Johnson, I'd love to hear from you. I'm unmuting your mic. Go ahead, Elizabeth, and could you shine in this morning for us?
Good morning, Maureen. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Oh, good morning to you. Good morning to all. I think it's a wonderful idea for us to be going through the Super TED series. Can you imagine if we had all this information when we were teenagers?
Wow.
It is certainly, I think, a fantastic way to break down, something a very complex, what is and what has been developed into a very complex system. Break it down really nice in packets for children. I also like the fact, even for adults, it builds, as Larry was pointing out, it builds pride and discipline. It teaches you, the value of work and commitment. And I love it, the little guy who is there with the vacuum cleaner whistling away. It also shows that, work is not necessarily something that you have to hate, because we all, in fact, I think if we can teach children, to choose and to develop their skills for what they love, you would find that work really and truly is a pleasure to do. And there is one concept I really want to say that I am a bit in disagreement with. It is, an entrepreneur is or entrepreneurs are some of the hardest working people that I know. They are so in tune and they so love what they do. They put everything into it. So, it is work. It is really, really hard work, but it is also something that they love so much that it doesn't seem to be work anymore. So I think those are fantastic values. In addition to the education, the instilling of values, I think it's a really fantastic combination, and I agree. It's a great lesson. I think it's beyond, the age group that it's recommended for. So hats off, to the team for deciding to go through the series, and I just want to say a blessed day to all. See you tomorrow. Ciao.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Could you make contact with Larry, please, when you get a chance? And next, I want to, that's Elizabeth, I mean. Sorry, Larry.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Kenwyn Hart. Could I hear from you, Kenwyn?
Hearing me? Morning.
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Well, what I can say, ever since a child growing up, I always liked to work. And turning into adult, work was a very nice thing, and it became very stressful over the years. working and earning income. One of the reasons now, I think I only now being part of the One Academy group and getting involved in the business, I was able to know now that I was working and not knowing exactly what to do with the money. You know, I know I had to pay my bills and you try to save some money in the bank and so forth, but it was always stressful. And being a part of the One Academy helped me to see how to asset build and how to use my money in a way to grow it, you know. So it actually have me now working with a purpose, you know, with a better drive, a better outlook on life, you know, and that has eased a lot of the mental and emotional stress for me, you know, having this newfound knowledge and knowing that why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. Now I am able to feel a little more comfortable and earn my income and actually put it in a place where it could grow, you know, for me and my family. So being a part of the group and all the information that I'm learning through you guys now is helping me to kind of relax a little bit more mentally and emotionally when it comes to earning income. And my wife actually feel a little more comfortable now, knowing that we have all this knowledge on how to actually use our income. So I just wanted to say that and thanks for the information.
Thank you so much, Kenwyn. And it's true, it has transformed many of our lives and it is making a difference on a daily basis. And we need to continue to share with others, whether they join in terms of purchasing a package or not. Just give them the information and you know you will be surprised what it can do for them. I see Alvin. Just one last person, if it is Alvin Morton, I don't know, but Alvin, I'd love to hear from you.
Good morning, Maureen. How are you?
I'm well, and how are you?
Very good, thank you. Just recovering from some internet challenges. Good
Okay.
morning to the panel. Thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute. Again, always an excellent exhibition of innovation. Going through the Super TED series in this way and challenging the community to have our children be part of it. I'm sure that Professor Pereira, as I like to call him, had some influence or some measure of input in that. That's an excellent idea. And it is something that I will be aspiring to see how best can be done. Some excellent points covered this morning. I was not on the call yesterday, but I did catch a bit of the call on Monday. And this business of knowledge, skill, desire, as Stephen Covey has articulated the components associated with work. And then, of course, the exchange of products and services. And if anyone has gone through even basic economics, and this is one of the continuing defining characteristics of the One Academy, you are learning basic economics even at this stage. Things that students would study hours for to do what used to be called A-level exams and even O-level exams. We have this sort of platform being exposed and articulated for us and discussed in practical terms. And I just want to continue to encourage each and every one of us to build up our skills, and these would be manifested in our brains as neural pathways, as the 4 steps of learning information up to unconscious competence. And just to continue at it, there will always be overnight schemes already worked out, as I articulated in song at another chat room, so that we cannot expect those schemes to go away. There will always be things that will attempt to keep us down, keep us back, keep us out. We have to prepare for those things and simply press ahead where we are with what we have. That's my contribution. Dr. Brown, thank you very much for the opportunity. Have a great day, one and all.
Thank you so much, Alvin. And I just want to say to everyone, thank you for the great sacrifice of being here on the call. Thank you for sharing every day. And for sure, I'm reading, okay, I'm reading something that's in the chat. So Fred Cujo, he came to Tobago for a meeting last night, well conducted by team leaders Edwin and Nielsen. Oh, he has a problem with his audio, but he's saying powerful lessons being taught and education being embraced. One Academites, we're lucky to have Dr. Ruger, and he's grateful for the sacrifice Larry, Maureen, King James, Patrice, and the rest of the leadership team is making. Okay, thank you so much, guests, for shining in still. So I want to continue to say thanks for being a part of the community. Thanks for being on One Academy. Please share. Continue to embrace. Let your children get your children into the Super TED series. We want to start shaping their minds towards being entrepreneurs. We want to leave that legacy with them. So without any further ado, have a blessed, productive, and one life day. And I see you on the call tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The One Academy is the heart of our company. Cryptocurrency is not an easy product. It's a very innovative product based on technology and based on very, very complex concepts. For us to be part of this financial revolution, to be part of cryptocurrency and of a community, we need to understand exactly what we do and what we talk about. And this is why we have the One Academy. The One Academy provides you with concepts, provides you with explanation on cryptocurrency and on the financial world. I would encourage everybody to join the courses, to do the certificates, and to understand thoroughly how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, and how we can change the world by using cryptocurrency. One Academy. Learn today, lead tomorrow.